Lego is just a toy. That's a line that I've heard a lot of times in conversations I've had with friends and acquaintances. It's also a line that I've seen used quite a bit online when people are debating or discussing Lego. But is it true? Well, I think the answer is yes, except for when it's not. I'll explain. The line, Lego is just a toy, I think is used, as far as I can tell, 4 different ways. The first one is when you have a conversation with somebody that doesn't really know much about Lego. Maybe they're an adult who never played with Lego. Maybe they played with Lego when they were a kid. Maybe their kids played with Lego, but they themselves don't actually have much of a relationship, if at all, with Lego. So when you have a conversation with them, and you mention Lego, or Lego comes up in a conversation with a group of people, somebody's bound to comment, wait a second, isn't Lego a toy? This happens to me quite a bit when I'm with friends, and some people know that we have a Lego YouTube channel, or that we like Lego, so they might comment, oh yeah, I saw that video, that was really good. Oh, you have videos? You're on YouTube? What do you have a YouTube channel about? Oh, Lego. Really? The toy? And it's not meant in a condescending way at all. It's just simply, oh, I didn't think that Lego would be for adults. And that's fine. Oftentimes it's a great education opportunity to tell people about, the different things that Lego is coming out with, or things that you've built, or different videos that you might have done if you do the YouTube thing. Now, the second place where I see that line being used is actually used as an insult or in a condescending way, right? Like people will say, that's just a toy. Why are you an adult playing with a toy? Why are you in college still playing with a toy? Why are you worried about a toy? After all, you should grow up, get a job, get a real life. The real world doesn't let you play with toys. Those are things that I heard over the years. In fact, I have a friend who was working on a modular building. His family had some friends over, and one of those people that came over was like, that's just a big dollhouse, right? That look on the face that's saying, grow up, it's a toy. And I don't know if people always mean it to be condescending, but the context certainly implies that. And there are times clearly when people do actually mean it as an insult. The third way that I oftentimes see that line, Lego is just a toy, used is in discussion or debates, oftentimes online, where people will use it as a way to say, just stop taking Lego so seriously. It's a toy. There are bigger things going on in the world. And this is one of those lines that is used at this moment to end the conversation. If somebody drops that line, Lego is just a toy, they aren't asking for a continuation of any sort of discussion or debate, because that's probably not what you're debating. Of course, if you are debating whether or not it's a toy, fair game. But it's a way to end the conversation, and supposed to either be a mic drop moment or just a moment like, guys, stop, I'm out, I'm done discussing. And I think it's interesting because there's some validity to the point that Lego is a toy for a lot of people, and that we shouldn't make too big of a deal of it, because there are other things going on, right? There are conflicts, there's political battles, there's, battles between what we do with our time, and certainly Lego might not be at the highest priority level for a lot of people. And so if we keep that perspective, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Now, the fourth way that I see this is oftentimes used in a similar context as the third. It's used in a discussion or a debate. It's typically found online. It is meant to end the discussion. But instead of saying there are bigger things in the world, what people really say when they say Lego is just a toy is, don't criticize it. It's for kids. You're taking this in a way that doesn't matter because it's just a toy. And don't bother criticizing it. You're not the intended audience. Now, this I've seen happen rather frequently online, especially in the context of sets that adults are going to like, but may not be the 18 plus or icons ideas style sets. For instance, the Ninjago City workshops. We posted a video reacting to that, breaking down all the images, and there were people that didn't really like our take on it, which is that it's a little disappointing in terms of comparing it to the other Ninjago City sets, even though as a standalone set, it might be okay. Now, people might comment, that's not meant for adult, it's meant for 12 plus or 14 plus or 16 plus. And so yes, there are going to be some teenagers and adults, but it's not just for adults, so don't be so critical. Or how about Star Wars? When Star Wars fans who've been collecting for a long time are critical of minifigs not matching the actual characters in the movies. Well, it's just a toy. It's for kids. Don't worry about it. Don't criticize it that much. It's going to have some inaccuracies. Or, of course, the debate with clone troopers and having the helmet holes and for the visors and people not liking that. Or how about Star Wars when they always release new Millennium Falcons or certain types of sets, city sets like the fire stations and the police stations that come out every couple of years. People get tired of that and people might criticize Lego, another line of police stations. Well, it's just a toy. It's for kids. And again, there's a little bit of validity to that, saying, you know, there are a lot of people that haven't been collecting Lego for a long time that are being introduced to Lego maybe for the first time, or Lego City fire stations or police stations for the first time. But I don't think it's a good line to use if you're just trying to say it's not for you, don't criticize it, if this is the way it is, don't ask Lego to make it better. It's just a toy. So the last part of this is really about how do people actually see Lego? What is that relationship between the user and the product? And of course, the first one I want to mention is that, yeah, for a lot of people, Lego is a toy. I don't know if it's just a toy, but it is a toy, right? Lots of kids love to play with Lego, and that makes it a toy. My kids love to build and play, and they do all these things with Lego, and they do it carefree, and that's the beauty of Lego, that people can do that, the kids can do that, even adults can sit there and play with Lego, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. So for a lot of people, yeah, it's a toy. But I think there are 3 instances when Lego is not a toy. And the first one is for people who view it as a hobby. This would be myself. I love collecting Lego. I like displays, as you can tell behind me. I like taking it apart, putting it back together. I like building creations. I like thinking about Lego. Obviously, I like talking about Lego. And so for many people, they are passionate about Lego because they have a long-standing relationship with the product. Myself, I started playing with Lego when I was 3 years old in the mid-1980s, and other than basically a 10 to 12 year period where I didn't buy Lego sets, I still built my old Lego sets. I've been playing with or building or creating with Lego for that entire span. 30 plus years of Lego fandom in my own life, and many of you have been fans of Lego, interacting with the product for even longer than that. And so that desire to collect, just like anything, comic books, instruments, guitars, other things. People love to collect that. People love to have those as hobby, to work on them, cars, whatever it might be. And that's fine. That's a big thing why people like Lego. And for those that view it as a hobby, it's more than just a toy. Likewise, another way we see Lego being more than just a toy is that I actually think it's a healing product. Now, I'm not saying that Lego has medicinal purposes. I'm not aware of any research that shows that, but I haven't really searched for it. What I mean by this is that for some people who work hard and they come home, they want to relax, they want to engage their mind in a different way, building with Lego can do that. I like to build with Lego, and I like to not be using a screen. I like the paper instructions because I use screens throughout my day for work. And so building with Lego without a screen is great. It's a way to relax. For other people, Lego is a social activity. They might join a Lego users group. They might build a huge collaborative display for a convention. They might, love to do the YouTube thing with all the comments or the social media or this or that. And it's very much part of who they are, and it helps get them out of their shell, or it helps them build new relationships or do other things with their life that is kind of healing. We know that Lego does have a lot of positive attributes and characteristics when you use it. We know that it helps build spatial reasoning, critical thinking, problem-solving skills, creativity. All those things are part of what Lego brings to the table. And for that, a lot of people, that's really cool. In fact, there's a whole lineup of Lego that's been out for years that focuses on using Lego in a classroom context. Well, yeah, it can be a toy, but it's also a way for even kids to learn. So Lego's more than just a toy. And of course, the last group that I think I need to mention is that there are people, and this does not include us, that use Lego as a job. Right? If you think about the big YouTube channels, the big Instagram accounts, or the TikTok accounts, or people that have blogs or whatever that get tons of views. Lego can be an actual way to make a living. There are people that have secondhand stores that own franchises of bricks and minifigs, or Whoppy Bricks out there in Wisconsin, or even bricklink stores like Pop's Block Shop out there in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. They have their livelihood caught up in Lego because it is such a big hobby and people are so passionate about it. They're willing to spend their income on it, and guess what? People can make a living off of that. And so it's a very small group. But if you went to somebody and said, you know what, Lego's just a toy, somebody might say, okay, like it's a great toy. It's also my livelihood. And so when people use that, as I wind down this video, when they use that line, I think it's important to realize that, okay, first of all, let's have some grace. They might just be tired of the conversation, or they might not understand, or they might be tired. Okay. But also know that that's not really a good rejoinder in a debate. That, you know what, it's not going to explain everything, because Lego is a toy, but it's not just a toy. It's many other things to a lot of people. That leads me to a question for you. How do you interact with Lego? Is it a toy? Is it a hobby? Is it a healing product? Is it a job? Is it something else? Comment down below. Thanks for watching, and always remember to keep building together.